Nerdtopia, yo, and we got a freaking podcast. Cruising in the speeder, bullseye, and flipping womp rats. Comics, video games, movies, real-life superheroes is what you can expect if you're wired tuned in weirdo. So we welcome all the newbies and the groupies, flashing boobies in the movies without cooties. In the show, it's got you drooling with this comedy, no fooling. Now presenting you your hosts is Steve and Doolin. Word, NerdtopiaCast.com, Facebook.com/NerdtopiaCast, also YouTube and podcast 38 seconds.
All right, guys. Welcome of NerdtopiaCast. I am your host, Doolin Dalton. And as you guys know, my co-host, Steve Wareham, is still out for a while. And real quick, congratulations to him. He just had his third kid, so he's going to be out doing the dad thing for a while. Little Dean Wareham was born a couple days ago. So we may not hear from Steve for a while. But I have someone sitting across from me today who's going to kind of fill in the blanks for me. Anybody who has performed on more than one occasion can tell you that sometimes you find an onstage chemistry with some folks, and you find that you have offstage chemistry with them as well. So when I first started here at my place of employment last season, I was introduced to this man who seemingly communicates almost through entirely movie and television quotes that are relevant to whatever is being discussed at the time. So rarely have I had a discussion with this man and found him at a loss for words for the perfect Family Guy quip for that exact moment. And in addition to that, he's a very talented actor and performer. And ladies and gentle nerds, I give you Mr. John Setzer, who we refer to lovingly as Setzer.
What's up, guys?
Hey. And then, since he's dying for me to introduce him, sitting on his left is Mr. Zach Ball, who is another performer here at this great place that we work.
Well, gee, thank you for that stimulating introduction there.
John Setzer, and then
this is the first time it's ever happened in your entire life.
And this douchebag who's just sitting here. So, fuck this guy. All right, so you guys have never done the show before. So as you guys may have heard in the opening sequence, we discussed, comics, video games, movies, all that other good stuff. And we put it up on our website, NerdtopiaCast.com.
Oh, wait a second. I thought this was the Big Bang Theory. Is it not?
No. No, there's none. You going to leave now? You're free to go. If you want.
This isn't Sunday morning football?
Wait, what?
What? Football?
Sports. Ditka.
Sports.
Mike Ditka. All right, so we'll go ahead and just jump into it this week with the Weekly Geeklies. I'm not going to stick on this too much because they don't understand. They don't know. You guys haven't read Preacher, but I've been a Preacher fan for a long time. This is coming to the big screen supposedly. For those of you who don't know, Preacher tells the story of Jesse Custer. He's a preacher in a small Texas town of Annville who is possessed by the supernatural creature named Genesis, a creature who rivals the power of God. So. Cool news for you guys if you are fans of that. You guys haven't read it, so we're just gonna touch on it and leave, kind of like I did with your mom last night, and we'll keep on moving.
I like touching preachers.
You Catholic?
Maybe.
No.
I'll never tell. No, I'm not.
All right. Well, anyway, so last week, guys, I read on superherohype.com, they're starting to speculate a little bit about the Batman reboot. So we just finished up with Dark Knight. That wrapped over the summer. What do you guys think of that, by the way? I know we discussed it a little bit here around the water cooler, but were you pleased with it overall?
I was emotionally drained.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I felt like coming out of the movie, I wanted to kill myself. Yeah. Even though, I mean, I obviously love Batman. I know John loves Batman as well.
He's no Spider-Man, but he works.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, you're always more of a Spider-Man guy.
Yeah. Batman's a close second, though. Of all the heroes, I'd say Spider-Man first, followed by Batman. Yeah. After watching the movie, I felt it was a good ending. It fit appropriately with the universe that Christopher Nolan had made. The only thing that I would have liked to have seen more was maybe a little bit more Batman screen time. But I understand the movie itself isn't necessarily just about Batman. So that was my only real thing that I would like to have seen would be more screen time for Batman in the movie. But the movie overall was a very good movie, very well written, very well done, very.
I mean, for all its plot holes and stuff, I felt that they delivered on it, and I won't spend too much time talking about it because we did an entire episode where we just broke down Dark Knight Rises, but they're already starting to throw speculation out there about about what they'd like to see in a Batman reboot. A couple things that I'd like to see in the Batman reboot, because first of all, I know what they're going to do is supposedly they're not going to wait. They're not going to introduce him before they do the Justice League movie. They're going to start with Batman in the Justice League, and then they're going to spin off a Batman movie from that. So we're not necessarily going to see him in a standalone picture. So a couple things that I'd like to see, and you guys can just kind of tell me what you think about this. One, since we're rebooting this, take away the Batman armor, because he's a ninja. Why does he need it? Like, that was always kind of the thing, and in the comic books it was the spandex, and I mean, I know some of it looks kind of campy for the screen, but go back to that. Why not? Throw him in there with a Dick Grayson Robin. Like, we don't need to see the whole origin. I don't know. And then the quick origin detail. Excuse me. Quick origin detail. Jump right into it. And here's one that I thought would be kind of funny, and people have scoffed at me for this. Why not Adam West as Alfred?
It'd be a nice little throw in.
I thought it would be cool. I don't know if he can do a British accent, but I think that'd be an awesome point to just kind of see how far Batman's come from where he was 50 years ago.
Yeah. And that's a man who loves his
And the funny thing about that is, he spent all those years doing Batman, and then he was like, I don't want to do Batman, and then when the Batman movie came out in '89, he was like, hey, can I be in this movie? And they were like, no, thank you. So it would be kind of.
Did they want him? Did he want to be in?
Yeah, it was one of the things I've heard that he.
Who did he want to be? Did he want to be like Gordon?
I'm not sure. I think he maybe wanted to be a cameo part in it. I'm not exactly sure. I would need to double check on that. But if I'm not mistaken, because Adam West spent all those years trying to get away from the image of the '60s campy Batman, and tried, and then I think about the time the Batman movie come out, he really hadn't been doing other stuff and wanted to be involved in the Batman movie, and tried lobbied to try to be in the movie, and they didn't really have anything for him. As far as what you touched on a minute ago with doing the Justice League movie and starting a new Batman, I think that's a very big, bold move from DC, because you've got this character that you've just had, 8 years set up with the Christopher Nolan universe, and that's what everybody's expecting. And then you're going to come into a movie, and Batman being one of the big DC characters, to start like completely fresh. Although they did it with a Hulk in Avengers, but like Batman.
I think they were trying to just kind of Jedi mind wipe away Ang Lee's
and it
Hulk.
Worked. But like as far as like going
mutant poodles,
it's like going from 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. Like you're going, you're going to put one of your major characters, a brand new character, in this movie. So what actor's going to play it? How is he going to play it? You're going to spend watching the JLA movie, like getting used to their universe, but also getting used to this new Batman. So it could be kind of distracting. I don't think it's going to be like people are going to go into it and just watch it for Batman, but it could be kind of distracting right now.
The biggest thing I'm interested in is to see what kind of character voice the new Batman will portray. I mean, Batman.
Maybe he'll do like a combination of like Christian Bale and Adam West. So, tell me, old chum, did you do your homework?
As far as the new Batman movie universe itself, I would like to see a Batman Beyond, like a futuristic, like take this chance, and even not necessarily like maybe even do kind of a spin-off like a Batman Beyond in its own kind of thing, but that futuristic Batman and something completely 180 from the Christian Bale or from the Christopher Nolan, like uber realistic to the futuristic monsters and kind of different crazy things. It would be a really cool opportunity to be able to do that on the big screen.
Well, I mean, you're doing that in like, because Nolan's Batman played it very close to reality. I mean, granted, you have to take a step away from reality to do Batman as it is, but to do it in the way that Nolan did it, I mean, he stated from the beginning he didn't want mutants, monsters, superpowers.
It was all very realistic.
Yeah, it was all realistic, and so I think, but we've yet to see superpower villains. I think on the Batman big screen, and since you're setting it in a Justice League universe, that's something that I would kind of like to see. Why not?
Oh yeah. Well, and too, I read a lot of things online talking about speculation if they would jump from the Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character at the end of Batman, like would they do like a Nightwing kind of
Did you see that picture that they shot?
Yes, that was pretty cool.
It was awesome.
Him being Nightwing and then going into like a Batman. That would be cool, but it would be cool to see just, an entirely different universe. And, I'm a big fan of all the, the major Batman villains, but it would be cool to see people that we've not seen in a while. Like I was
Rock.
Clayface was
maybe.
my favorite from the
Yes.
animated series. I always loved Clayface, or even and it's interesting way to do it would be Man-Bat, but I don't know, that might be getting into the Spider-Man lizard kind of territory.
know.
I mean, it's different, but you
Yeah.
know, you never know. But just to see like characters that they've not even done yet, I would like to see Mr. Freeze done in a
And again,
Batman animated series version.
All right,
of Mr. Freeze.
everybody.
Yeah, like just
That happened. Batman, come on.
No, Batman. So yeah, it would be very cool to see villains that we've not seen yet, or you know, just expand the universe a little bit and
Yeah.
see some different. And like you said, like I don't have a PlayStation or Xbox, so I have not played Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, but like the version of the
I
Robin.
played a little bit of it.
Yeah, I've seen like in some gaming guides, like the version of the Robin, he looks pretty cool in that. So to see him like not, I don't know, campy sidekick comic relief, to see him like a badass fighting guy.
For Robin, like, because I still haven't seen him, I don't think, portrayed in the right way, because he has to be, the character has to be a kid.
Yeah.
He can't be a grown, like because in was it in, you know, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, you had Chris O'Donnell portraying it. I don't know how old his character was supposed to be, but he was pretty much
college age. He was,
Yeah,
he
he was
looked
pretty-
like he was in his 20s.
Yeah, I think he was much older than that, just playing younger at that point. But he has to be a younger kid that has that kind of youthful energy. Makes it more about the adventure and less about the, okay, we're partners, going to be in this together. Because at that point, it just gets weird. Because Batman's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, the character
He needs
is-
somebody to.
He needs somebody who looks at it like it's a game, like it's an adventure.
And that was one of the cool things about, you know, when they had Dick Grayson, a lot of the contrast was, you know, he's just kind of, you know, he's having fun with what he's doing, but Batman is an obsession, or for Bruce Wayne it's an obsession. For Dick Grayson, it's more like, you know, he can have fun with it, and he's not as serious about it a lot of times. And honestly, like, expanding universe, not necessarily, I think all the diehard comic fans may want to see a Dick Grayson, but honestly, I think, like, you know, Tim Drake, not necessarily Jason Todd, but maybe like a Tim Drake or, you know, something like that, like just a newer version of Robin, or a different, but so it's not, okay, here's Bruce Wayne, here's Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson eventually becomes Nightwing. Like, we know the story. Those people that know the story know the story. Like, give us something, you know, kind of a mixture. Keep it in the essence of what's going on, but you don't have to necessarily, like you said, as far as backstory, like, I know how he found the Batcave. I know how his parents were killed. I know all that. Like, do it in the opening sequence, or do it, like, in the middle of the movie, like you see it briefly, but we don't need a 2-hour movie on how Bruce Wayne came up with the Batmobile, or how he came up with the Batarang. You know, he's a big enough pop culture character that we don't really need that.
And Christopher Nolan did all that in Batman Begins. So with a reboot, like, I think, you know, you acknowledge the origin. You know, you maybe touch on it real quick, and then you jump right into, like, you know, Burton's '89 Batman did that. I mean, they were just like, oh, there's a man on the streets who's calling himself a bat, and they kind of touch on the origin a little bit, and they kind of jump into the story. You know, I think they should go back to that this time around.
And honestly, I mean, you know, in case there is someone living under a rock that doesn't know where Batman comes from, it would be kind of an interesting way to do it. You know, you have the movie where you just go right in the middle of it, like in the middle of something's going on.
Right.
I'm sorry, Optimus Prime is getting a text message over here.
Yeah, that just happened.
Thanks for putting your phone on silent there, genius.
Sorry.
I don't care if the phone goes off. It's no big deal.
So anyway, like I was saying, I got distracted by Optimus Prime. Just
Don't
jump
leave.
right in, like they did in the Tim Burton movie. You know, jump right in, and he's like right, you know, in the middle of. There's a Batman running around, and you get it in a flashback. That's, I mean, like it might be maybe a 5-minute flashback.
Oh yeah. You don't need that. Just, you know, put the kid in the alley, be done with it.
So I got a question, since we're talking about kind of like, what?
No, go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Okay, put me in the alley. No. So we're going back to like the tights and the whole ninja thing. So do we have the underwear on top of the...
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no?
No.
Okay.
No, Superman did away with that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So...
Well,
no?
No, you don't.
It depends.
He doesn't...
Okay, let me ask you.
Thank you very much.
Let me put it to you like this. What I would like to see, there's a Batman short online, a fan-made film called Batman Dead End. Has anybody seen it?
No, I've not.
Okay, do yourself a favor, YouTube that. And first of all, they got a guy in it he's got the Batman build. and they put him in, it's like the gray spandex and then the black.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Where he fights, then Predator comes in at the end or whatever.
I've heard of that, but
I've
I'm not
seen something like that where he's fighting Wolverine too. It's like a short.
Yeah, it's a
thing.
different one, but
Okay,
it's something like that. But I see, like, I watched that and I was like, the spandex can actually work
It looks
on
good.
the screen. Like, Hollywood doesn't want to touch it. They want to leave the spandex alone. I mean, even you can see what they did with, like, Bryan Singer's Superman, where they muted the colors and they tried to disguise the fact that he was in a spandex costume. They're so scared to do it because they're afraid of how campy it's going to look. But I think if you do the proper costume design, it'll work.
But would you have to find a guy who's like a bodybuilder?
Not necessarily a bodybuilder. No, I mean you don't want a huge guy out there because then he wouldn't look like Batman.
Yeah, he'd be more fit and
he's got to be fit. He's got to be ripped, but you can't. You don't want his arms out to here.
You can't scratch the back of his head.
Wipe his ass. Yeah.
You don't want a Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Well, I think the cool thing too, like with nowadays, like with experimenting with fabrics and different techniques and things, like I mean, the first Spider-Man movie, in the Spider-Man outfit, it's like a spandexy silk screen, and then the new one. So you can definitely do costumes like that. I mean, there's people that make homemade Batman costumes by the droves, I'm sure.
Sorry, I forgot again. I'm sorry.
People who make homemade costumes by the droves to go to various Comic-Cons. So you've got, outfits that can be made to look, I mean, it's Batman. You can experiment it. I'm sure you can hire Penny Rose and whoever from all these, like, come in and make some kind of fabric in their office. I don't know. So you could definitely experiment with some things and come up with some cool looking outfits.
Well, SuperheroHype.com posted a speculation and interesting people that they would like to see. I don't really know how much I agree with some of these, but these are ideas for a reboot if you're starting over. So obviously you don't want to jump into the Joker because and actually I think that's something you want to leave alone. And like they're saying, if they stay away from like the really big names like Penguin, Catwoman, those folks. They posted a few speculations. One would be Victor Zsasz, and if you haven't read him, he's an interesting character. He's witnessed his family murdered, and kind of went in the opposite direction, became a serial killer, and then you could kind of bring in like the detective aspect of it, make it almost like Seven, which would be really cool. Make it more of like a murder story with Batman. That'd be kind of cool. There's a couple other that I'll breeze through here. Calendar Man. He's more like kind of like a Hannibal Lecter, and who commits crimes based on dates. That would be kind of cool. Deadshot, who I think just made his appearance on the small screen in the new Arrow series.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I haven't seen it, but I talked about that like way back when they first announced that show on this show, and I said how much it was going to suck, but the reviews are actually good, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. They said the Red Hood, which you have to earn that storyline. You have to do that through several stories, but then you'd have to do the whole Jason Todd Death in the Family thing. Hugo Strange. The Black Mask, I think, would be a good one to kind of jump into a reboot. And then finally they threw the Riddler out there because we haven't seen the Riddler since Jim Carrey's portrayal of it. Which I think if you make him more like a dark, twisted kind of almost like a serial killer who's leaving clues as to where he's going to commit the next crime. But then I don't know if they're going to do that or if they want to kind of bring it up and make it a little bit more lighthearted since we're doing kind of more of a comic booky type superhero universe. Yeah, so. And
too, like I read that same article and I was actually flipping through one of the guys that works here. His book, he had the big Bruce Timm book about Batman the Animated Series when it first came out, and I like looked at that and was enthralled by that for days, just looking at the artwork and the ideas. And one of the things they touched on with the Riddler was that he's a gimmicky bad guy. He leaves these clues, and you like in the comics you have all these issues to set up this big overall arcing scheme and all this, but in like an animated episode you have literally 23 to 25 minutes to come up with a complete cohesive story and not drag it out. So Riddler would be cool to see. And I see him definitely like Jim Carrey when he played him, when they hired him, he was in the height of his Jim Carrey, very animated, very, it was like The Mask meets Ace Ventura as
well,
the Riddler.
Also,
and that's what they wanted.
Well,
I mean, they wanted
you also
camp.
had Jim Carrey doing scenes with Tommy Lee Jones, and those two just tried to out-ham each other the entire movie.
Big time. And I think that was the style that Joel Schumacher was going for, like the campy 60s kind of episode. But like, you know, Riddler, I think he's more smart, so he's not like it. That was the cool thing about the new movie with Bane. You know, we had the first movie.
He's a mastermind.
He had somebody to kind of fight with, and then the Joker was more psychotic and smart. And then in this movie, you actually have someone he's smart, but he's also big, so he can fight with Batman. Like they've both been trained by the League of Shadows, so you could see them fight. So Riddler would be cool. You wouldn't get the big like fight scene payoff, but you could have. He definitely needs to be more intelligent than like. You know, he's crazy like the Joker, but he's smarter. Like he's a little bit more brainy.
Yeah, and it's funny you should mention the Bruce Timm stuff, because I thought that was one of the best portrayals of the Riddler I've seen. Especially, particularly some of the ones where he had them trapped in like a computer program.
Yes, that was the Minotaur.
Yes, that was a great episode. So, given that, I would really be okay with seeing the Riddler done correctly.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So, tell me, Doctor, have you liked the circus?
We were just talking this morning about how everybody that they picked to be Batman apparently has a list that I didn't know about it until you really put them in that outfit.
Hold on.
Christian Bale's got a list.
Christian Bale's got his thing, and then
Val Kilmer did.
I haven't seen that movie in years.
I did not notice it until I was watching it, and it hit me. It's when he's talking to what's the doctor's name?
Kidman.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman, her character. And he's
Dr. Chase.
Yeah,
Dr. Meridian.
Yeah, he breaks the door down, and he's like, "I've got to get you out of that dress." And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Into something more comfortable." He's like, "Tell me, doctor, do you like the circus?" And it's like this big, like it's like once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. It says circus, and I'm like, did you say circus?
It says circus.
So I don't know if it's just like something with the way you smush somebody's face in, and that's the way your S's come out, or your C's and S's. I don't know.
Did George Clooney lisp at all? Or?
I don't remember. Honestly, I've seen that movie.
You know what?
One time, and that was the only Batman movie I did not see in the movie theater. And I do not.
I will say this: I actually like George Clooney as Bruce Wayne. As Bruce Wayne. I didn't like the movie. I didn't like the movie, but I like George Clooney as Bruce Wayne. I thought he did a good job.
I think watching it, you know, like Val Kilmer maybe had the best rounded, like why can't I think of his name from the first one? Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton had that really.
He was weird.
Quirky. He was like the quirky, crazy Bruce Wayne, but I think that was definitely Tim Burton style coming out, because he was very like, I was watching the first one again, and he's just got that kind of odd, like he's like this odd rich guy on top of a hill that everybody's like, who is this weirdo?
Well, we're gonna move off of Batman real quick, but don't worry, we're gonna. You never want to move off of Batman, do you?
I'm Batman. Where are the other drugs going?
Who are you?
Alfred!
I'm Bruce Wayne.
Swear to me.
Fuck.
I'm the hero guy from the zoo.
Well, don't worry, guys. We're gonna.
But not the one it needs right now.
I'm trying to close this out.
It's kind of confusing, but it's pretty.
Shut up!
It's pretty awesome.
I'm gonna kick you in the back.
No, don't worry, guys. We're gonna come back to Batman. We will come back to Batman here. I got a couple topics, but we're gonna come back to Batman. Technically, the real life Batman, but we'll get there. We're not there yet. So while we're talking about movie reboots, with the new upcoming superheroes, Superman in particular, you may have read this since I know you frequent superherohype.com. It was something they posted a while back. Here they are speculating a second Superman villain. Now, we know that General Zod is confirmed. He's going to be the villain for Man of Steel.
Son of Jor-El, kneel before Zod.
I love Zod. I love Zod. I'm glad they went that route. But and this is actually kind of cool because this villain really ties in with a Superman reboot because it goes back to his origins. But he's a villain named Black Zero, and the speculation comes from this. They released an upcoming Superman Lego set, which is a Black Zero Superman action figure, which is weird because he's random. He's not really well known, so why release him in a Lego set unless you're going to cash in on something that's going to be happening with it soon? So for those of you who don't know, Black Zero was a mercenary that destroyed planets, and in a storyline entitled The Man Who Destroyed Krypton, revealed to Superman that he was the hired mercenary that destroyed the planet. So it ties in nicely with Superman's origin story, as does General Zod. So we'll see. We shall see.
That would be interesting. I don't. I honestly, of all the major superheroes, Superman's, you probably hate me. Superman's kind of my least favorite.
See, no, I'm the super. You're just as you're Spider-Man.
I know.
I'm Superman.
I know. I've never been.
Caleb's over here.
I've never been huge into Superman. I mean, like John Wallen said, like for years, another guy that works with us. Like, there's only so many times you can watch him pick up heavy stuff before it becomes boring. I mean, he's so like invulnerable that he has no big like villains to put him in danger. Like I know there's Brainiac and Lex Luthor and all those General Zod. So. Other than that, like, I'm not a big, I don't know a whole lot about Superman villains, but it would be interesting to see some different villains. I wonder if Coca-Cola would be sponsoring Darkman Zero or whatever his name is.
Black Zero.
Yeah, Black Zero.
Black Zero, all the villainy attributes, none of the calories.
Exactly, there you go. You can just tie it in with a Coca-Cola and put it on like a Coke can. There you go.
Does anyone else think it's weird that both fathers of Superman in this one both played
Robin Hood.
Yes!
Isn't that weird?
Both of your dads are Robin Hood, so that'll be interesting. I hope,
Both shitty Robin Hood.
Absolutely.
I really hope, honestly, like I would like to see a good Superman movie. You know, the other one, the Bryan Singer version that came out, it wasn't. How do I put it? It wasn't.
Emo Superman.
It was just so like long and drawn out.
Shit.
It was just very like boring. Like I think they tried to go like I think there for a while like with Ang Lee's Hulk, which oh god no.
We don't discuss that.
No.
Unless you want to talk about mutant poodles.
Yeah, and fighting in darkness that you
know
can't
how you
see.
got like this, Bruce? How, Dad? Jellyfish blood.
I think there for a while they tried to do like superhero movies too realistic and too like dramatic. Like they tried to make it really, you know, serious, which, you know, the Avengers was like, to me, one of the perfect comic book movies because it had action and adventure and it was smart and it was fast and there was all kinds of cool stuff going on, but it wasn't too heavy, it wasn't too bogged down with continuity. So I would like to see, you know, something from Superman with him, with General Zod and, you know, villains like that, again, somebody he could match strength with and somebody that it wouldn't be, you know, he's being stabbed with kryptonite for 45 minutes.
Yeah, and it's funny you should mention the kryptonite stabbing scene because I think that was my favorite part in the entire movie.
Yes.
Having Brandon Routh getting stabbed again and again and again. Now, that movie pissed me off, man, because, like, as you said, you know, Superman fans kind of need a big win. I've said time and time again, one of these days I'm going to go back and do an episode devoted to doing Superman as we did with Batman, like back in episode 15. We broke down, you know, all things Batman. But that really hurt for me because I'd been a fan of Superman for years, and I went to go see Superman Returns when that came out, and I was a huge, huge Superman fan. And I was like, all right, haven't seen Superman on the big screen in a long time. This will be good. And I saw it, and it was awful. And then I was in denial for like 6 weeks afterwards. Everyone's like, Doolin, did you like the movie? Yeah, I liked it. It was good. Doolin, did you like the movie? Yeah, I like Superman Returns. It was good. Really, Doolin? No.
You had to have your breakthrough moment. You had to break down those walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and the shitty thing with that is everybody lost in that situation because that movie, you know, it wasn't a good movie, and you know, Bryan Singer wanted to do X-Men 3, but the studio was like, nope, we want it now, we want it. So he wound up not doing X-Men 3, and that just butchered that first 3 set of movies for me, honestly. Like,
and I think that had more to do with the script than directing.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think maybe if he was involved in it, I think it would have been maybe a little bit better, or at least I hope it would have been a little bit better. So that really saddened me because the first 2 movies, you know, X-Men, digressing for a moment, but the first 2 movies were really good, set up this, you know, universe, and then in the third one it's kind of like, oh hey, Rogue doesn't want to be a mutant, and now Mystique's not a mutant, and neither is Magneto, and then, oh, we've got the Juggernaut bitch running around, and...
While we're at it, let's go ahead and kill off Professor X, Jean Grey, and Cyclops. Let's kill off Cyclops, who is essentially the field leader of the X-Men. Let's kill him off in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
But by God, you've got Halle Berry there. She won her an Oscar, so she's like, I want a bigger part in this movie.
She won her an Oscar by showing her boobs.
And I'm going to cut my hair.
She got an Oscar for having sex with Billy Bob Thornton on screen, and that, honestly, anyone should get an Oscar for that.
To pretend to be attracted to Billy Bob Thornton.
Angelina Jolie didn't. Did she get an Oscar?
I don't know.
No.
But that wasn't really on screen.
No, she
was in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I think she does have an Oscar. Did she get one for that movie with the...
which I don't know what else she won one for aside from Monsters Ball.
What was it? No, Angelina Jolie. Sorry. Didn't she have an Oscar?
Well, and it's so I went there and I was so certain that movie was going to be Superman Returns. I was so certain it was going to be such a huge success. I had a bet going with the girl I was dating at the time. This is like summer of 2006, I think, that Superman Returns was going to be a bigger movie than Dead Man's Chest. I lost big time.
That's all right, mate. We all make mistakes.
But speaking of pirates, Pirates 5 news. In Pirates 5, as you guys, I'm sure you've been watching it. Zach here is a big Pirates fan, and so is Setzer. They have a script, but Bruckheimer scrapped it because he feels that they could do better, which I think is good. You need quality control in there because
I trust Jerry Bruckheimer.
Well,
his stuff's amazing.
I mean, and we've had this back and forth before that I was not very pleased with Part 4, and I think you guys liked it more than Part 3.
Yes. Yes.
And I actually like Part 3, and I'm in the minority here because Part 3 was my favorite in the Pirates series.
What?
Nobody agrees with me.
What? Kidding me?
Dude, are you serious?
It was just so
Explain.
Okay,
please.
Explain yourself
You spent 2 movies
before I slap you.
you spent 2 movies like building up and building up and building up, and it was just so big and epic and sweeping, and you had the Sea God, and then the Davy Jones and Jack Sparrow sword fighting on top of the mast as the ships went down in the typhoon, and I mean, and that to me was just freaking awesome. And for me, there was nothing that could be bigger than that, and then they made another movie where they're like, all right, we're gonna dial it back.
But I think that's why I wasn't a big fan of the third one, because you kind of the first one was this self-contained movie, just honestly out of nowhere. Like I remember when that movie came out, I didn't get to see it in theaters because it came out, and of course it was Pirates of the Caribbean, and I've been to Disney, but I didn't ride Pirates of the Caribbean because it was kind of campy and it was crowded when I went at that time. But anyway, so when you have this movie coming out, I'm like, really, they made a movie about a ride at Disney World, like an okay ride at Disney World? It'd be like making It's a Small World After All, the movie.
They could.
Well, they could.
And
But,
it could be good.
Yes, but like watching the movie, it was
see the Small World movie.
watching the first Pirates was amazing.
I got a popsicle in my fridge.
And the second one, I like the second one in the series. It got a little bit bigger, and then by the third one, it was like
you felt like it fell apart.
Well, yeah, because it's like there's
too many plot lines.
There's like switching sides and Will and can I think of her name?
Elizabeth.
Will and Elizabeth they're fighting, and then they're back together, and then like everybody gets double crossed. I think there's like 6 double crosses in that movie.
Funny. Yeah, I remember watching the end of Part 2, and me and Pip and the guy I was living with at the time were like, man, Part 3 is going to have so many plot lines and double crosses. It's going to be amazing. But when I went to go see it, I was like, there's too many damn plot lines and double crosses to keep up with in this damn movie.
And one of the things too, like it's kind of dangerous to get into when you start doing these movies. Is like Jack Sparrow has his own way of thinking, and you can never be sure if he's like really double crossing someone or if he's pretending to double cross someone to work out a master plan in the end. Like I think a lot of the stuff that Jack did with giving Will the compass and giving Will to Davy Jones was to get everything set up, and I'm like, So are they double-crossing each other, or is it just Jack being Jack and being really wily and foxy and cunning and being smart, or what's going on?
Maybe he really does know what he's doing.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing.
He plans this all out, or he just does it on his own.
Here's the thing that I liked about Jack Sparrow's story arc in the first 3 movies is like he absolutely not a villain. I mean, he's more of a heroic character than a villain, but he very much plays his cards close to the vest, and he's always in it for him, this, that, and the other. But that was the big overall theme that they went through with the first 3 movies was, when the chips comes down to it, is he going to be in it for him, or is he going to, be a team player? Is he going to be a hero? And then by the end of it, he showed his true colors, and you say, okay, he's a hero.
Yep.
And I was like, that's a cool note. Like he finally, he stepped it up. And then you bring it to Part 4 where he's the main character, and he's back to where he was seemingly at the beginning of the first movie. Like it seems like that whole story arc is just kind of like, okay, we had that, and now we're going back to this.
I think in the end, that's kind of what with Jack. That's how he is. He's out for his own, and he's this roguish character. But in the end, when it comes down to it, he would, and that's what separated him from Barbossa in the first one was Barbossa double crossed Jack marooned him and screwed Jack over so that he could go on with the ship.
But then did it again.
Yeah, and then Jack's done the same. He took Anna Maria's ship, and he's done that. Like he's got that. But in the end, like when it comes down to it, he's going to be the hero of the movie. So it's like I don't know. I guess that's kind of that's his whole MO, and that's how any movie with him is going to be. And I read a really good review on a movie one time. It was talking about how Jack Sparrow is better used like in the first one. He's really not a main character. I mean, he's one of the leads, but he honestly is like he's like a force of nature. Like he kind of comes through the story.
He's the wild card.
And causes chaos in everybody else's life, and then he kind of leaves the picture. Like he kind of weaves in and out. And they said that he's better. Like
he's better as that.
He's better as that. Like like a whole movie on Jack Sparrow. After a while, you're okay. We understand he's got these crazy antics, and then it almost becomes kind of a gimmick, like when he escapes the king's palace in the fourth one, and it's like this big, set up elaborate thing, and that's how he escapes, is this big elaborate thing.
Right.
But in the end, like I think he's kind of better, like
there's a method to his madness.
Yeah, weaving in and out as opposed to like a whole movie about him. As long as they don't bring back Will Turner
and that's we don't agree on anything here. It's like because it's like I know people are like, oh, fuck Orlando Bloom. Fuck Will Turner, I hate that guy. But his character was absolutely necessary for those movies because he was...
No, he's the contrast.
He was the young hero, and he was the one that I think for the most part in the three movies kind of kept Jack on the straight and narrow. So you can say what you want to about Orlando Bloom.
Orlando, the character's fine.
Yeah, but he was the hero of those movies, and it wasn't Jack Sparrow.
He's the hero Pirates needs. We're not the one that deserves, man.
Oh, God. And that was reading, various reviews. That was the whole point of Will Turner. He's like that Errol Flynn kind of, old school,
exactly.
like, hero,
swashbuckling
hero.
And he would be absolutely boring without Jack Sparrow, though. I mean, and Jack.
God, I wouldn't pay to watch a movie just Will Turner by himself.
On the flip side of that, like I don't feel like Jack Sparrow kind of stands on his own as the hero of the story. And that's kind of what they did.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like it's one of those. And I don't know if this is Disney tap dancing around it or if it's just like, putting out a character who, in the end, I mean, he's a pirate, so obviously he's a thieving. I wouldn't say Jack Sparrow's murdering. Like, that's the difference between maybe Barbossa and Jack. No, he's not. And like he's kind of villainish, but you kind of have to cast him in this good light. Otherwise, I think they're getting into. They don't want to get into the side of glorifying this bad guy. Like, he's almost like a Robin Hood, and honestly, like that's one of the cool things about him and Barbossa, like Jeffrey Rush, the way he plays that character. Yeah. They are such good opposite ends of the spectrum, Jack and Barbossa, of playing off each other. That Barbossa's kind of the one, like he's kind of your fun villain, and that's one of the things I really was excited. Actually, it's one of my favorite.
Entirely a villain.
No, and not entirely a villain.
You had Beckett for that, and he was
Oh God, perfect villain. Him and David Jones, perfect villains. But I think that's one of the things about the Pirates. It's not necessarily. I think it's it's situational villainy. If that makes any sense, I may have just made up a word.
But I like it.
But it's like in a certain situation, one character may do something wrong in that situation, and one character may do something right. Like overall, yes, they're all pirates and they're out for themselves. But in that specific
all got
situation,
a point to which they're trying to reach. They've all got a goal. They've all got something they want, but they're also got obstacles they have to overcome. They're obviously running over top of each other, and that's what creates the
only way you're going to get ahead.
Absolutely.
But you stated you would not like to see Will Turner in the fifth movie. Not even if he came in as like Captain of the Flying Dutchman or something like
Honestly, I don't know. Like I mean,
could probably. I mean, his character could have changed by this point.
If he's Captain of the Flying Dutchman, I think it honestly for me is just Orlando Bloom. Like I'm just not a fan of his performance. Like
he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah. I mean, to me, he's Legolas, and he'll always be Legolas, and that's all he'll be to me. But I don't know. Like it depends. And honestly, as far as like the script, I mean, you could really go anywhere with it. And I honestly don't even know. I would actually kind of be interested to see a Pirates of the Caribbean without a supernatural element. Like I don't think. If it's done correctly, but I don't think you necessarily have to be like, okay, well, what's our supernatural element going to be? Well, we've already had fish pirates, we've had zombie pirates.
Go Atlantis.
Yeah, I mean, you could go Atlantis with it,
I think it'd be awesome.
You would just have to be very careful of how you do it, and not just be like, well, what's our supernatural element going to be?
I'm hoping for the Little Mermaid.
They already did that.
The crossover.
Oh wait,
yeah, they did that.
Remember, she pulled.
She banged the missionary at the end of it or something.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad. Damn. See, I deleted that part of the movie out.
And honestly, he was the Will Turner of that. Like that was completely
the missionary was the Will
character
Turner.
in that movie. I don't even know why he was in that movie.
It was forced and contrived to me.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I didn't. That was one of the reasons I didn't care for Part 4
Well,
as much as the others.
It's different. Like, I'm a big fan of Gore Verbinski, so it was cool to see a movie like, I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean, a franchise that you've had the first 3, and then take the second 3, and you've still got the same kind of characters, but it's still different enough that it's not, somebody imitating somebody else's style. So that's definitely interesting.
Right. So that being said, they're moving forward with Part 5, and how can you not with the amount of money it made?
Yeah, $1 billion franchise worldwide.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of speculation out there about Pirates 5, and we can sit there and go on with it all day. But but we're going to keep moving on. One of the things that we always like to talk about here on NerdtopiaCast is the real life superheroes. We're fans of those stories. We like to follow them. Way back in episode 6, we had Phoenix Jones come onto the show, and we chatted with him for about 45 minutes. A lot of fun to talk to. Great guy. But are you guys familiar with the Michigan Batman?
I am not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I told you we were getting back on Batman, so we're steering it back to that.
It's about time.
So Mark Wayne Williams, which first of all, I have his real name right here. So if people know who you are, number one, you're not doing a great job as Batman.
Yeah.
So Mark Wayne Williams.
You want to know my secret identity?
Mark Wayne Williams of Petoskey, Michigan. I think several months ago. Yeah, but Petoskey, Michigan, hardly Gotham. I don't even know where Petoskey is. Now, if you were in, yeah, you should the hand. If you were, Batman. If you went to Detroit, maybe that's a nasty city. That's noteworthy, but I haven't heard anything about Petoskey, Michigan.
Fuck free world.
But he was found on the rooftop several months ago in a Batman costume. Wait, it gets better. He was found on a rooftop carrying a chemical spray, a metal baton, and sand-filled gloves, presumably to use as saps to knock out the criminal element.
God.
So the police found him up there, and they arrested him and said, "Hey, don't fucking do that anymore."
Yeah.
And he was given a 6-month probation period where he was not allowed to put on his costume and go be Batman.
It's like being grounded. Like you got to see on your report card, see you're not getting to go to Comic-Con this year.
No. Yeah, so he took 8 years off and practiced indoor archery.
Is he gonna be the
beard? No, actually only 6 months, and then presumably the bat signal lit up again because he came back, which to me already makes him a better Batman than Christian Bale. Because he answered the hero's call. Mark Wayne Williams, a.k.a. Petoskey Batman, answered the hero's call, went to the scene of an accident of a hit and run where the cops were trying to find...
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta start. Batman's gotta start somewhere.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't just jump into taking down the mob. You gotta start with hit and runs and
Absolutely. Hey, there's no crime or hit and run, jaywalkers or ladies crossing the street too small.
You gotta get cats out of the tree too, though.
Absolutely.
You gotta do that.
You can't get a ladder out of the utility belt.
Come here, kitty, 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 kitty.
He hooks it with the bat hook and pulls it down, impales the cat. Here you go. I got your cat. Mommy! Muffin's dead.
I need some new armor to protect against dogs.
The Batman ate my cat.
Should do well against cats, Mr. Williams.
Where's Catwoman at?
But he went to the scene of an accident, of a hit and run, and cops said, "You know what, Batman?
Did they actually refer to him at? Did they quoting police officer?
Like
Batman,
like you know what?
Fuck out of here!
You know what, Batman? We got it.
Well,
just go ahead back to the Batcave. But no, he stayed around and kept insisting that he was going to find the criminal and fucking with the crime scene and investigating the accident like he was gonna find something.
Somebody better call Geico.
So he was arrested once again for that. And so here's the other thing that gets me. One, like I said, you don't let anybody know your identity.
Yeah.
2, you don't fucking allow yourself to be arrested by common police. You've got a lot to learn.
Ninja
Alfred, I need to post bail again. No, you're staying in there this time.
Get a cashier's check. They don't want to know my name.
You're going to learn your lesson, Master Williams.
Vigilante.
I'll bring you the bail in a bag the size of a tangerine.
Just bring my Batman credit card. Don't leave home without it.
Vigilante, superheroes on their own. I mean, I see both sides because, I mean, it's great, with our screwed up legal system, I completely see, somebody going out there and doing something on their own. However, how incredibly hilarious would it be to see Batman coming running down the street? And again,
he's riding on a scooter.
Yeah, it's on a Segway. With a bat signal on the Segway.
Wait. Does it come in black?
Yes.
Okay.
Spray painted black. Spray painted black.
Yeah.
But he goes around there like he shoots the hook and it hits the post and he goes around a sharp corner at 4 miles an hour.
Seriously, who was that? Get those wonderful toys.
Radio Shack.
Radio Shack.
Oh, no. But honestly, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it's cool that people are getting out there and helping out. But at the same time, I mean, do we really want somebody dressed up like Batman messing with a crime scene like you said?
I think every city should have a Batman.
This giant, murder case of the century. They're trying to bring down, they've set up a sting operation, and some idiot comes in.
Some 42-year-old overweight man
touching the crime scene, moving evidence, just
picking up, moving
stuff around. I'm like, dude, that, and then, okay, again, like I said, okay, this, they bring, say the Batman does a great job and brings down the mob boss of the century. That is not going to hold up in court. Like, they're going to be like, hey, this guy was arrested by some, this evidence was planted, that's just not going to hold up. Like, small-time mugging and, stuff like that. If you want to roam the city and make sure old ladies don't get mugged in the middle of the night, that's cool. But, leave the, just with our justice system today, just leave the stuff, the big stuff, and the important things to the police. Otherwise,
unless you have superpowers, in which case,
if you really have superpowers, just say, F you, I'm doing it on my own. Don't get arrested,
So, but therein lies the question of, if you have this guy dressing up as a mass vigilante, will you have somebody else with the criminal element starting to dress up as the Joker, the Riddler, all this stuff, trying to do that same shit they do in the movie?
Escalation. That or
escalation.
That or like in Kick-Ass, you've got all these people running around pretending to be superheroes, and you've got one or two that could probably do a good job, and everybody else is getting in the way or getting themselves killed. So you've got some crazy guy jumping off a roof dressed up like a moth or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, comic books are cool. I mean, and they make for fun things to talk about with things people do stuff like this, but just
fantasy.
Yeah, it's fantasy.
Fantasy.
It's not real. Yeah. Unless you want to, just kind of try to inspire people and start a neighborhood watch or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
do the parties.
Exactly.
Do birthday parties.
Yep.
What the hell?
Where's the birthday party?
Exactly.
Where's the cake? Where's the birthday boy?
I always said I would love
to
see a version of Batman where it's all like this drunken delusion, like Bruce Wayne's actually just a drunken millionaire running around, and he goes, he just goes to this local strip bar and he's like, hey, I'm Batman. And Selena Kyle's like, no, you're Bruce Wayne. He's like, you're Catwoman. I told you my stage name is Kitty Cat. Yes.
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon. What is it, Bruce Wayne? I've got the Joker pinned over here.
That's right.
Like, he's just a drunken idiot running around, having this, Secret Life of Walter Mitty running around, having this, delusional Batman. Like, it's not real. He's just a complete drunken party boy.
Running around with his cape and his Batman underwear.
Like, it's bad, this Party City Batman outfit that he's put together. Looks like crap.
Well, a little bit more, I forgot to touch on this when we were talking about movies. The new Skyfall movie is about to come out. So, in the news of media whoring, Heineken donated a hefty sum into the pockets of the producers of Skyfall, and Daniel Craig, James Bond, now drinks Heinekens instead of martinis. What the fuck?
Don't touch my Heine.
I'm sorry, no, because that's a staple of James.
Yeah, that's James Bond.
I do not profess to be a James Bond fan, but don't fuck with the status quo.
You're messing up with one of the core things of the character and who the character is. I mean, not switching out an alcoholic drink is going to be earth-shattering to the character, but it's sophisticated. James Bond has
a tuxedo. It's like we're going to take him out of the tuxedo and put him in a three-piece business suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a big deal.
No, it's James Bond. You should be drinking. It's like saying, oh, wait, guess what? Sandman accidentally killed Uncle Ben. Don't even get me started on that garbage. He is completely destroyed. I don't know. I saw the commercial and I was like, wait, is it James Bond in that commercial? That's pretty cool. Okay, if you're going to do it in a commercial, but in the movies, I don't know, there's just something about, such a big phrase, you know, like dry martini, shaken not stirred. Everybody knows that phrase.
Yeah,
what are you gonna be like? Give me a Heineken.
Give me a
Pop the
Heineken.
top of my
They're gonna
Heineken.
shake it. Like, here you go, James. Oh, God damn
You know,
it!
hand me my Heineken. I don't know. It's just, I think there's a level of sophistication of drinking a dry martini, shaken not
Like,
stirred.
they get you fucked up.
And don't they introduce Q finally?
Yes,
in this
Q
one?
actually comes in.
Isn't he supposed to be a young guy?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
young.
and like the small little, what is it, Walter?
PPK.
PPK.
And it's
little bitty little
Coated to his
Finally,
handprint.
3 movies in.
squirt gun. Yeah.
Coated to his handprint.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
and I think that's what they're doing, like with Batman. They're kind of making it not as like, all right, you push a button and your, BMW turns into a flying machine, or you're not gonna have that kind of thing. So it's, I think they're trying to keep it, techno savvy, but not being like, all right, and take off your watch and then take the little tiny piece of microfilm and put it on the desk and set it and it'll explode. That's more Mission Impossible. Like, they can take the most crazy looking things and turn that into something cool. But James Bond right now is a little bit more realistic, I think.
Yeah. Well, moving on to TV. Today is Sunday, the 14th. Now, this won't air until tomorrow, so at that point, Walking Dead will have already aired.
Aww.
So we're going to take a real quick moment. Did you catch up on Season 2 of Walking Dead, Setzer?
I have DVR, thank God, so I watched it whenever it happened. So
Okay. Awesome.
I may be a little rusty on the details that happened, but I know what has happened. But
Right.
I watched the season finale last season when it went on.
And then week by week, I'll go through and kind of break down the weekly episodes because I absolutely love Walking Dead. So we're gonna do a quick Season 2 recap. You can sum it up in just a few minutes, right? Previously on The Walking Dead. Nothing fucking happened.
Not on dish.
Nothing fucking happened. Because that's what Season 2. I mean, it was intriguing and there were some great episodes, but it dragged so much. So here's Season 2 recap. Zach, if you don't want me to spoil it for you, you might want to.
I don't care. It's
Earmuffs.
fine. Go right
Okay.
ahead. That's
Season
fine.
2 recap. All right, here's the entire Season 2 breakdown. 1, they're on the road, leaving Atlanta. Sophia is a moron, and she ran off after Rick told her to stay put, which is really just kind of Darwinism at work, because she... anyways, Rick and company made their way to Herschel's farm, where Shane becomes a raging asshole, and they spend half the season looking for Sophia and finally find out that she's in the barn the whole goddamn time on the same property that they'd been staying in. So, Rick and Herschel go into town, encounter abandoned survivors, which the encounter turns hostile. They end up taking a prisoner, and then there's this whole debate on whether or not to kill him or let him go. Shane goes off on the deep end, turns into a zombie. Farm gets overrun, and everyone has to leave. Boom, the end of Season 2. So that's where we are right now in Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so have you seen the previews for Season 3? I know we played the preview on the show like way back when. So we've got, they're going to the prison. I guess they're going to try to clear it out. We've got, they're entering, I guess Woodbury is going to play a place in it now. For those of you who, I haven't read the comic book, but I've read up on it, and I just finished reading Rise of the Governor, which is about the governor, obviously. So he's going to be the main villain this season, which I think is one thing the show has kind of been lacking, because up until this point, Shane kind of played the villain to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he wasn't really villainous in his ways. I mean, you
They
take
just
it
disagreed.
They
Rick and
disagreed.
Shane had two polarizing different views of how to survive and what to do.
Right. And then, and then Dale, who's kind of the moral compass of the group, or the patriarch, if you will, died off in Season 2. And now we're looking at, Rick kind of running the show. And I think he took, with both Shane's death and Dale's death, he kind of took both of their views, and he's meeting somewhere in the middle, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember at the end of last season, he kind of threw down and said, this is no longer democracy, it's going to be my way or the highway.
Get the hell out.
This is a Rick-tatorship, bitch. So anyways, that airs tonight. I'm friggin' excited about it. More from the, somebody, I hate American Idol. I don't watch it. I don't know if you guys do or not.
I have, yeah.
But this is funny because I have to talk a little bit about this. Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey last week had a very public feud on American Idol through a cell phone video capture where Nicki Minaj threatened to knock out Mariah Carey.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing! Oh my God, that'd be
Did you see this or no?
No, but that's hilarious.
Mariah Carey did an interview with Barbara Walters and blabbed to her and basically said that Nicki Minaj said several times, if I had a gun, I'd shoot the fucking bitch.
Serious?
Yeah. Now, see, I'm not an American Idol fan, but damn it, I would watch it if you put those two against each other in a pit of death.
That makes me question you just saying that. Is that on purpose? Do you think that's scripted, or do you think that's real?
I don't know.
Nicki Minaj had a beef with Lil Kim when she had that Stupid Hoe video, so I don't. I think she's one that
she gets pissed off easily.
I don't know. I mean, like I've heard her songs, but not like I know her. I mean, I don't have her on
She's probably
speaker
like
on my
most
phone.
of us and hates stupid people.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly,
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Mariah Carey. I mean, I like Mariah Carey. She's a great artist. I know she went a little cray-cray there for a while. She's kind of back to normal.
She married a boy half her age.
Yes, and she's staying eternally young. I don't know, but I don't know. I think Nicki Minaj maybe is the kind of person that's like that's stupid, and she's not gonna sit there and just kind of shut up about her opinion. She's gonna
she's not gonna sugarcoat it.
No, no, and you need honestly American Idol like in any competition like that. You need that one judge with a little bit of harshness, like. Not necessarily, just destroy.
Was that her? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I don't think it's premiered yet. They're doing the auditions right now, so she's not.
Oh, okay.
She won't be like the Steven Tyler telling everybody they're awesome and screaming and wearing 20 pounds of mascara.
Trying to have sex with 13-year-old girls.
Yeah. But no, it's like a lot of people. I think it was cool to dislike Simon. I think that was the thing. It was the fad, Simon Cowell. But honestly, like what he said was maybe a little harsh, but. If you're going to be in the business, like if you're going to be in the performing business, you're going to have people that are not going to be not going to say, well, that was okay. You have a nice outfit on tonight. Well, thank you, Paula. But your performance, let's just call it how it is. Everybody else is like, it was terrible. Like, let's just call a spade and be done with it.
Pretty. Yeah.
So
you're always pretty.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's interesting. I would like to see how that, and I would also like to see when it.
A little pitchy.
When it actually, thank you, Randy Jackson.
Pitchy dog.
Pitchy dog.
Wow.
I would like to see when it comes out how that's portrayed on, if Fox mentions it, if it's kind of one of those big like, stay tuned Tuesday night to see the fight happen. And
that makes me think
Mariah Carey's ego versus Nicki Minaj's ass.
Yeah. I think Mariah Carey will lose out on that one.
Starships were meant to fly.
So it would be interesting to see that, like a big, celebrity feud going on American Idol. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Well, that's about all the time I'm going to dedicate to American Idol, because I fucking hate it. But I thought that was noteworthy. So every now and then, Hollywood announces some things that I like to poke fun at a little bit that I think is going to suck.
It's time once again for another big fat fail.
All right.
Fuck. Look at Three Stooges.
Oh,
yeah.
So, Hasbro, the horse that brought you Battleship, have announced a couple of different projects that they're going to be bringing to the big screen. As if they did not learn their lesson with Battleship, we haven't had enough. So, first up is going to be Action Man.
God.
Never heard of it before?
No.
No? Okay, Action Man, he has the power of action. No, he is the British G.I. Joe. So if you think about the G.I. Joe film and how much that movie sucked, we're going to be getting a British version of it. So he's like G.I. Joe, but much more polite, I guess.
Is he a loner?
Yeah,
one guy.
He's a loner guy.
Oh, wait, I've heard
a rebel.
Isn't that James Bond?
What? So this is a James Bond film?
Bond.
No,
but he's
action. But he's not James Bond. He's
the last action
but he's
hero.
military.
It's not Arnold.
But
there's military. Yeah,
he's sophisticated in military.
But
that's James Bond, right?
No, he's Action Man.
Is it gonna be?
Well, James Bond is not military. He's like a secret agent.
Oh,
spy.
I'm sorry. I thought same thing. I mean,
this is awkward now.
Is it gonna be Jason Isaacs? Who? Jason Isaacs.
Tom Hardy.
Bane?
Yeah, he's British.
Is he?
No, I think he's more
pretty much.
I think I'd rather see I'd rather see a Stretch Armstrong movie first.
Oh God, with Taylor Lautner, yeah, it's gonna be great. No,
what?
With Taylor Lautner, you didn't hear about that? They're talking about forever, talking about doing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they scrapped it, but they were talking about it one time doing.
I was kidding.
Oh my God,
I'm serious.
So Team Jacob.
But no,
they're gonna do what with Taylor Lautner now?
They were talking about one time having him be the lead in Stretch Armstrong. But they were like,
I can stretch really far.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch you, and boy, you're gonna be sorry, because Oh, I'm so sorry at you.
Maybe we could have a team up with Plastic Man and Elongated Man
Like a
and
bug
Mr.
stricker.
Fantastic and Stretch Armstrong, and they could be the stretchy group. I don't know. Stupid.
No, but he's like G.I. Joe, but he's much more polite and, occasionally stops for a spot of tea, and instead of battling with his nemesis, he outwits them with superior verbal tactics.
So it's
son
gonna
of a
suck.
bitch.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be a big fat
Well,
fail.
I mean, we could get Seth MacFarlane to do it, and it'd be great.
Yeah, well, if he gets doing it, I have a feeling they're not gonna
Reboot.
they're not gonna try to go funny with it.
Watching the boys again, weren't you?
And so this makes me sad because, like, way back in episode 7, I think, entitled "The Parker Brothers from Other Mothers," where we kind of tore apart like this whole movie making, cashing in on toys shit that they were doing back when I think they had announced like Tonka the movie and
Oh yes, Adam Sandler.
yeah,
Yep.
they had announced that, and we kind of ripped that apart, and we were just being assholes, and we were just like, hey, what about Monopoly the movie? This summer the battle for the boardwalk begins. They're fucking doing it.
Yeah, I heard.
That shit is happening.
I died a little.
Pass go and do
What
not
in
collect
that
$200.
lends itself to a fucking movie?
Honestly, the only thing I could think of would be kind of a Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, but that's not really Monopoly. I mean, that's more of a serious movie.
Did he go to jail?
Unless there's pouty lips and explosions, I'm not watching
That's
it.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay's Monopoly.
You've got to have Howard.
With Optimus Prime.
Also, don't forget Hungry Hippos, too. So.
Yeah,
What?
they are doing that, aren't they?
What about
Holy
Mousetrap?
shit.
Mousetrap?
No, not yet. Well,
Not yet.
Mousetrap.
Candyland?
13
Candyland?
13 Dead
I
End
think
Drive.
they did a Candyland movie. It was a straight-to-DVD thing.
I'm sorry.
That sounds like another.
Well,
Sorry.
you know what though? Candyland,
like another
and not that I'm
movie
gonna
for a
go, I
different
would go
time.
see it, but it has like characters and something of a plot to where you could make a kids movie out of it. There's nothing in Monopoly, man. Nothing in Sorry.
What if
Nothing
they
in those
would?
board
What if they
games.
cast me as the boot? What if I could? Who do I got to audition with to be the
You can
boot?
audition to be Community Chest in Monopoly.
I want to be the boot.
I want to be the car.
The car. I always like the car too.
Yeah.
But all my older cousins.
Now I want to be the guy on the
car.
horse. Is there a guy on the
Yes,
horse?
there is a guy on the horse. Or the iron. You could be the iron.
There should be a
Symbol.
pirate ship. Is there a pirate ship?
There's a battleship, I think.
No. What is
In
this?
Monopoly, there's a battleship.
Are you sure?
Is there a Donald Trump? I want to be Donald Trump.
With the bad hair, comb over, and everything.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
You're
That should be
fired.
a square on Monopoly.
You're
now.
fired.
You're fired.
Yeah. No, I don't have no idea how they would do it. Because I would think if you're doing Monopoly, it's gonna have to be a kind of a kid movie.
Right.
Maybe we could put Adam Sandler or Brendan Fraser in it. They could probably.
Ooh, I like it.
They would probably. That's kind of who I would instantly go to.
I'm feeling you. I'm
Mhm.
feeling it. All right. So finally, we're gonna wrap up the show. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit about because this is election season, guys, and it's
What?
and we don't.
It is?
You know,
What
we
year
don't-
is this?
We don't discuss
Who's running?
some guy.
Okay.
I don't know. But we don't we don't discuss politics much on because we talk about pop culture, entertainment, that kind of thing. We don't really discuss politics much on the show. But somebody brought something to the table this week that I feel is worthy of our attention. Really important. Snoop Dogg brought some valuable insight to the 2012 election this past week, and he made a pro-Obama / anti-Romney list. And if you're leaning one direction or the other, this might sway your opinion because it's just some very valuable political insight. All right, so I would be remiss in my duties as an American if I didn't at least bring some of this very brilliant insight that Snoop Dogg has shared with us. So here we go. Just a little. I didn't write down all of them because there's a lot of them, but the top 10 reasons that Snoop Dogg is voting for Obama, not Mitt Romney. Number 10, bitch got a dancing horse.
What? Are these quotes?
This is
straight up.
actually from Snoop Dogg's list. He took a picture of it. He wrote it by hand, took a picture of it, put it up on Instagram. Okay. Number 9, this motherfucker's name is Mitt. He always interrupts people and talks over them like he's better than them. Bitch, I will beat the shit out of you. Number 7, he's a Mormon, but he ain't got no hoes. Number 6, that nigga looks like he says nigger all the time.
Oh, well now.
Number 5, this motherfucker's name is Mitt.
This is actual.
This is from Snoop Dogg.
Oh my. Okay.
Number 4, and this is why he's voting for Obama now. He a black nigga. Which to me, doesn't that present a double standard? If I were to say I'm voting for Romney because he's white, wouldn't that send a bunch of people up at arms?
Or you're not voting for Obama because he's black?
Yeah.
Obama's mom is white, though, isn't he?
Yep.
He's white.
Half and half.
So he's
a half black. This show just took a very bad turn.
Nothing has been said that it's not true.
Yeah, and I'm just quoting Snoop here.
I know, exactly.
All right. Number 3, nigga look like he can fight.
Right. I don't know about that one.
He's depressed, but...
Number 2, Michelle got a fat ass.
She is very handsome.
She's a very handsome lady.
She is.
And number 1, he smokes Newports, which I didn't know that. Obama smokes Newports?
Remember that was a big thing. I think it was a year or two ago about him smoking and living in our current world where you can't do anything without offending someone. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, the president's smoking and that's bad. He shouldn't be smoking." I'm like, if he wants to smoke, let him smoke a fucking cigarette. Doesn't mean he's setting a bad example. No, not necessarily. I mean, there's as many, I mean, my parents, but my dad smoked, my mom didn't, so I've never smoked. So, I mean, you can make a decision just because you see the president smoking doesn't mean, oh my God, I've got to smoke. So.
Smoke.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think
smoke.
And honestly, this list is exactly what is wrong with our entire country. Not one of those reasons, if they are correct, has anything to do with politics or the way someone runs the country or anything. It is completely asinine, arbitrary fact.
Look, okay, and Snoop, dude, like I'm talking to him like he listens to this.
No,
but Snoop, dude, if you put this up there to be funny, then you brought some entertainment, and good for you. But I hope to God you are not being serious with this. Because if you are, that's sad and scary at the same time. Man. But anyways,
well.
So that's about all the coverage of the 2012 election. We're probably gonna just here on the show. Snoop Dogg. Yeah. On that note,
I'd vote for Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris, 2012. Vote for him, or else.
Or else.
He knows if you didn't vote for him.
He knows you.
You walk out of the voting booth and he's just standing there staring at you.
Chuck Norris roundhouse kick in the face.
Okay. Get back in there.
Globo Gym, or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called.
Well, I think Chuck Norris went batshit crazy too recently, didn't he? With some sort of... I don't remember.
Randy Travis had the big thing going on, but that's
he was running around naked.
Yeah, disorderly, drunken nakedness, craziness going on.
But it's like that goes to show you how people can be normal.
You're super famous doesn't mean that you're superhuman. That you're normal, and you've got all that pressure going on you,
booze.
And you can't, oh God, we just saw Chuck Norris smoking a cigarette. Everybody gets Chuck Norris now because he stopped smoking. So,
but the thing
is, look at that man. This dude's in his 70s. Look at him, man. He's doing all right.
Yeah,
it's that Globo Gym. I'm telling you.
His total abs, gym, body fitness.
That
abs body.
His wife is hot, or was. I haven't seen her lately. She's like 70 now too, though.
Is she? I don't know. She's 70.
Probably.
Would you hit it?
Probably. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd have to take a look under the That's true.
Certain things, I mean, I don't care how you look on the outside. Certain things stop working at a certain age.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
Juices.
Yeah. Would you have a threesome with Chuck Norris and his wife?
No.
No.
Oh, God.
It's creepy.
Oh, God. It's terrible.
All right. Who would you rather marry, fuck, or kill?
Okay.
All right. Chuck Norris, Arnold Schwarzenegger, or Sylvester Stallone?
Oh, jeez. Well, I guess I'd marry... Well, damn. Fuck, man.
Well, you can't marry Arnold because he's unfaithful.
I was going to say, Arnold...
Well, I know, but then again, but I don't have to worry about him trying to have sex with me, so that's a good
thing. Are you sure?
Well, maybe a little bit at first, and then I'll be like, hey, Arnold, look at our new housemaid. Her name is Consuela. She's going to be doing...
She's a knockout. Look how hot
let's make a baby. Not tell anybody.
Well, I mean, you know...
Get to the chopper!
I've always heard Love is Blind.
Let's have sex on the chopper.
I guess it's true, Love is Blind.
I'm a T11 1000.
That's what he was, right? T11.
I think it was a T101, wasn't it?
T101.
Wasn't it the model number?
I don't know.
Is it 900?
I think he's
No,
doing...
T1000 was the other guy, the liquid guy.
T1000
Right, yeah, the
Robert
T1000.
Patrick.
Yeah.
So I think he was the 900 model.
They're doing another Terminator. Did you know that?
I
heard that it was canceled.
I have,
Really? It's canceled?
I have faith in the Terminator franchise, man. I think that they do well with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 3 movies that they've got, the one that didn't happen, that was
No, that didn't happen.
no, the third one that never happened.
I
Because you got Terminator,
was okay.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and then Rise of the Machines, or whatever it is.
With Batman.
This was Batman. And,
good for you!
Batman and, what's the kid from Star Trek?
Fucking Chekhov.
Yeah.
Chekhov. And Sam
And
Worthington.
Sam Yelchin.
Yes, fucking
or
Avatar,
Mhm,
man.
mhm.
Was he in Avatar?
Yeah.
He was
He
the
was
lead
the-
in
he was the
Avatar.
machine.
No, it's Sam Worthington. Oh yeah,
He
Sam
was the
Worthington was
machine.
in Terminator. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah, so
yeah.
So you had both Avatar and Batman, and
Is Arnold going to be in the
you
new
don't
show?
need Arnold anymore at this point. At this point, it's about John Connor.
He was a cameo.
Okay, yeah.
They CG'd his
They
head on
CG'd
somebody
his
else's
face,
body.
and that was kind of cool. But
Yeah.
you don't need him in there.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Arnold. As long as you don't have a liquid metal robotic female robot as your bad guy.
hot model with no acting. Well, she didn't need any discernible acting talent for that role, so it all worked out.
That's true. I like that part where she was naked.
I don't think she got naked.
Better
in
than
the movie.
seeing... Yeah.
Did she?
Yeah,
Oh,
when
right
she
on.
came through the future of the past into the present, you see somewhat of a silhouette of a butt.
So on that note, we're rambling at this point, but guys, thanks for sitting in on the podcast with me. I enjoyed having you on the show. Go ahead and finish it up here for NerdtopiaCast. I am Doolin Dalton, and sitting across from me is
John Setzer.
and
Zach Ball.
thank you so much for joining me here today, guys. Appreciate you filling in for me. And that's going to do it. We are out of here. Thanks for nerding out with us, guys. Good night.
Find more free nerdy funny at www.nerdtopiacast.com and be sure to check us out on iTunes and Stitcher.